Okay, I want to ask if I may. Okay, can a EIP bind to different ECS servers at the same time? If you want to connect one EIP dedicatedly to the ECS instances, you cannot. But what you can do is you can use application load balancer, and through that you can configure one EIP, and that can be connected to multiple ECS instances. You want to pray? Okay, I'll give you a few minutes. Did I answer regarding the EIP, or are you satisfied with the answer? Like, is this what I expected? Okay. Yeah. That's way you can use it. And another one is you can use the network address translation gateway. That is a NAT gateway. You can use the SNAT, source NAT, and destination NAT. That is the DNAT. So these are the ways you can use it. Like in NAT gateway, you can optimize the resources by using limited number of EIPs to connect with multiple instances. That is also possible. So these are like two scenarios you can use it. Okay. Now we are going to use LabX. All of you go to this portal labx.io/Alibaba. I hope all of you have an account with labx.io. If you don't have, please create one.
Sorry, sir. Share your screen.
About how the load balancer work on Alibaba Cloud. See, we have like three different types of load balancers. I will answer this question. Meanwhile, if anyone don't have any account with labx.io, please create one and keep your coupons with you. I will tell you. No, I'm not showing any screen. I'm answering the question. You just use the link which I posted in the chat box and create an account. Yeah. So I was mentioning about the server load balancer, right? So we have like three different types of load balancers. We have application load balancer, classic load balancer, and the network load balancer. Application load balancer, the name itself says, right? You have the 7 layers in networking. So the application layer belongs to the layer 7. So it belongs to the layer 7 protocols like HTTP, HTTPS, Google remote procedure call, and so on. And then we have the classic load balancer. It will support both the layer 4 and the layer 7. So it will support TCP and UDP also. And then we have the network load balancer that was used to do the network based load balancing. Okay, Iqbal has one question. I will explain during the demo today. Let me share my screen. So you all log into this portal. I hope you all have logged into this. Yes, Alibaba has migration tool just like AWS. Yes, we do have migration tool for servers. We use the server migration center. And then for database, we use the DTS or like DataWorks for big data migration. And then for storage, we use the OSS util and OSS browser to shift from other storage services. So we do have same like AWS. Okay, now if you go over here in the icon over here, you will be seeing all these things. Then go to the settings here. You click on to the settings. Please follow with my instructions. I'm trying to go as slow as possible. So click on to this settings. You get into like this. So here I have already preloaded credits of 700, but you may see like you have 0. Now we need to load our credits. We have got 200 credits, right? Copy that credits which you got in the email. And then you click on to this credits in the left-hand side over here. This one, and then click on to top up. And then don't use this Stripe, you use the voucher. And in this voucher, you have to enter the voucher token here and then click on confirm. Have you done that? So I will do my coupon. Now I got like 900. So this is how we can get into the credits to add. Now I go back to the home, labx.io/Alibaba. And here you have the security in the direction. You click onto this security over here in the home page. So in that case, you can scrutinize which application you want to do. So you will see like all those related to security is over here. Repeat on how to get the voucher. I think you should have received in the email. Can somebody mention to him where to get it? I will repeat again. Open this in new tab. Okay, so you go to this this particular thing called as settings, and you'll get into here. And then in the credits, in the left hand side, you take this one and then click on top up and then click voucher, enter your voucher token and click confirm. I hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So now I will go ahead with the demo. I will try to go as slow as possible. This demo will definitely take almost an hour to complete. So try to cooperate with me. I will go as slow as possible. So now we are going to use this basic application of ECS security groups. I click on to this. And then for your easy reference, I will copy this URL and share it with you in the chat. You can go into this link. So if you are not able to locate this page, you can use the link which I have pasted in the chat box. Okay. Now we will start join to the lab. So you all have got 200 credits, right? So for each lab, it costs you like 50 credits. So the experiment which you are going to do now, you are going to spend 50 credits out of the 200. So click on to this join with 50 credits. click on to this part. And then click on confirm from the credits because I have already loaded my credits. From that, I'm going to use the 50 credits. Then I click on confirm. So now I have joined the lab. So once you have done the join lab, you will get like this continue learning. Okay. Now I hope all of you got this continue learning in green. Okay. So now we go to continue learning, click on to this. So you'll land up a page like this. So you have to follow all the instructions over here. So from the second one, and there is one ground rule which you need to follow. Yeah, start learning. You have to click on that start learning and then it will turn into green. And then click on continue learning and then you will land up in this page. Yeah, take that start learning and then it will become continue learning. Okay, so now I'm going to follow these steps. We have this, you can just follow, like you see the timing it gives. You can use this lab for like 110 minutes. So I click on to start lab. Click on to the start lab. We have to wait for a while. You click on to start lab over here, it will show like deploying over here. You don't need to buy the credits. You can use the credits which you have loaded. And there is a ground rule for this one. In case if you are using any Wi-Fi or network from some protected environment like office firewall or anything, it may not work for certain parameters because it deals a lot with allowing and blocking certain ports and protocols within the cloud. So in that case, I recommend you, in case if you are using your network from the Wi-Fi of your office, it's better to use your mobile internet. Okay. Now we have to finish this lab and then only you have to click on stop lab after finishing everything only. Don't do anything over here. Okay. So now we have to open the console. So you have to make sure that you don't have any Alibaba Cloud account opened. So you just click on to open the console. So we get into this RAM user logon and then go to this tab and copy this username and then paste it over here. You will have your own username. You just follow that manual and then click on next. And then there is another password for me. I click on to this and then I paste it. Click on log on and then I click OK. So now I have opened the console and I copied the username and then the password. All these are done and I have clicked OK. Now my page should look like this. It's looking like this, right? Next, we need to go to the products and choose Elastic Compute Service. Username and password is incorrect. You have to follow the username which you get in your system, in your account. And in case if you are having, just give OK for that favorite layer mode. So in case if you are having any login problem, make sure that there is no another Alibaba Cloud account is logged in into that. So there might be some clash between some active Alibaba Cloud account. Sign out from all the Alibaba Cloud accounts and then open this one. Then you should be able to do. If time goes to 0, can I restart to 120 minutes? No, you have to spend another 50 credits which we have given, that you can do it later. But this one you will finish it like well before that 120 minutes. Don't worry about it. Layout, you just choose anything, like you just click OK. Like here. This is the layout mode you have to choose. Yeah, the same. And now we need to buy ECS instance. I have to go and search for ECS. Search for the product. I click on ECS. So we have already one ECS instance loaded already. You should not log on with Alibaba Cloud account. You have to follow the steps provided in this manual. Like, for example, you click on open the console. Open the console and then copy the username and password and go to this RAM user login. Enter the username and then the password, and then you have to log in. And then when it asks for the layout, you just give OK. And then we have to click on to choose Elastic Compute Service. And then you will get like this. See, I'm having one ECS instance which is running. So I hope all of you got this ECS instance. Mine is no instance. Are you using LabX? You don't need to create one. It will be already available there. So if I click on instances, I can see like the regions, and then I go to the overview. So overview I have already available. Yeah, change the server to US Silicon Valley. Don't use your personal account. You should use the LabX account. Choose the region of US Silicon Valley. You click onto this overview over here, you will be able to see that. US Silicon Valley. You choose this region as US Silicon Valley, then you will be able to see this ECS instance. Or you can create one. So here in US Silicon Valley, I have got the ECS instance. And then it is running. And then I have the public IP, that is the EIP, which is added. So then I have to click on to the manage rules. In the overview or in the instances, you can see. So you can click on to network and security groups, or you can click on to security groups over here. In the left hand side, you have the network and security, you have the security groups. So we have already one security group which is already created. Yeah, go there and you will see the security groups. And then you click on to manage the rules. You have this manage rules over here. You click on to manage rules. You will get into here. So here you have the security group which can manage all the ECS instances in the security groups. So you can provide the rules for the inbound connection as well as the outbound connection. So what kind of port you want to allow or deny, and what kind of protocol you want to allow and deny, all these things you can specify over here. So we have this inbound, and then I click on to the outbound over here. So you have this inbound rule and the outbound rule. And next, we can delete it. We need to delete this outbound rule. So I go here. And then we have the delete over here. Just click on to delete. And then it asks for a confirmation. And then you click on OK. So the outbound rule is deleted now. Now you have to do the deletion of inbound rule also the same way. So I go to the inbound rule and then I delete this rule. So this security group, which is governing the ECS instance, is not having any security aspect. Like, I mean, it is not having any role. For few people, the ECS instance is not available. You just observe on what to do, and later you can restart and do it later when I finish it. So now I have to cover it within the stipulated time. And next, we have to ping the ECS instance from the internet. So we have the public IP address. So we have this EIP over here, right? So we have to go to the overview. And then we have the EIP. And then I need to go to the command prompt. Let me open the command prompt. Console. So I'm using, sorry. Just observe if you are having any issues. You can use the putty or you can use the terminal also. So from the app, I will take the terminal. Let me share the terminal. So I just give ping and paste the EIP address which I copied from the ECS instance. So in that case, we don't have anything from the inbound as well as the outbound rules. That's why it is showing like we don't have anything. Okay. You can ping using putty or you can use like that. Like you can use the terminal in MacBook or command prompt in Windows. Okay. And next, we have to add the inbound rule. So I need to create the ICMP protocol type and save it. So for that, I go to the security groups and click on manage rules. So in the inbound rule, I will click on add rule. And then the protocol type is ICMP v4. And then I take all IP addresses. And then I click on to save. So now I have added the ICMP ping protocol. So after
Sorry,
this,
sir.
yeah,
Your share screen is stopped, sir.
pardon?
Your share screen stopped.
my screen is not shared. Okay, just sorry. Okay. So here you need to add the ICMP v4. I will show again. I will delete this one. And then I click on to add rule. And here we have to choose action, whether it is to allow or to deny. We are going to allow that ICMP protocol. And the protocol type is ICMP v4. Select that. And then the CIDR block, I choose to have all the IP address. And then I click on to save. So after this, if I go to that same terminal, see, now it is showing that the ICMP is giving the response. Are you able to get this way? So after you add the ICMP protocol, firstly, it shows like there is error, request timeout, and after that, it shows like the ICMP is responding. Okay. Now I go back to the browser. So here we have added ICMP. Now we got like this. Now we need to give the command SSH space root. So for that you need to add the SSH rule. So firstly we will check with the SSH root. Better I go for sharing my browser. Okay. Yeah. So give like SSH space root and then the IP address. So it cannot do the SSH because we have not added the SSH protocol. So we need to go to create one inbound or outbound. We have to do the inbound rule for the SSH. So I add the rule inbound. I choose custom TCP and then SSH. And then here SSH, port number 22. And then CIDR block is the same. And then click on to save. Okay, now if you give the same command, it shows like this. It could not resolve the host name. Like I think I gave in the wrong way. Root and without space I had to give. Sorry, I missed this one. Yeah. Now it is asking, are you sure you want to continue connecting? And then you can give the password. The password will be For the root, the password is over here. I copy that and then go to the terminal and then I paste the password. See, now it is able to log in. So once you have added the SSH protocol, you are able to log in. Otherwise, you won't be able to log in also. Over here in the right hand side, you see administrator, Linux username, root, and then the password over here. Now we need to use the ECS instance as a web server. So in the, I hate this window, keeps coming. Okay, and then you give apt space update. You will get the response like this. It is working. It's done. Now apt space -y install Nginx. So Nginx is the web server. We are given like this. Just follow this statement. And then we have to start the Nginx after this is completed. It will take a while to install. Okay, now it is done. Now we have to enter the next statement. Netstat space -utnlp. So you see the IP addresses and all the details. It uses the port number 80. So we need to use HTTP colon this EIP address. What is the IP address? I forgot the IP, so I go to the overview and copy this. Okay. Now I paste that IP address. It says like nothing is available. You can try it in your browser also. It will say like you cannot reach it. And next we need to add another rule to have that custom TCP of the destination protocol of 22. This is for the SSH, and now we have to add the HTTP protocol. So we have not allowed the HTTP protocol. So I go to the security groups and then manage rules. In the inbound, I need to add another rule, custom TCP, and I choose HTTP 80. CIDR block, and then save it. So after saving, you can go to another tab and enter the IP address. It will, sorry. And then I try to add the outbound rule also. So you should be able to get the page like this. And now we have seen like how we can manage the IP addresses. So in case if you have like very secure pages, you need to have the HTTPS protocol. So for that, you have to go for the inbound connection, add the rule, custom TCP, and select HTTPS, and then the IP address, and save. So then it is done. The ECS doesn't have anything, but we are just seeing like how to configure the rules in the security groups. If you provide access to that rules, it will allow, otherwise it will deny. Now we have done with the lab, so we have to click on to the stop. So the stop is over here. You click on to the stop lab. And then you click on stop lab again. So that's all. You can use the LabX. So like this, we have some other LabX courses also you can try, but later, okay? But today I have to cover another one, PowerPoint. You can create an ECS instance and then try it later. So I go to labx.io/Alibaba. So here, if you see in the directions of security, you have this KMS, automatic image moderation, Linux user management, and so on. So once you click on the stop lab, all the instances, all the stuff you created will be deleted automatically. So I hope you all got it. Next, I go to the next topic which we need to see. Yeah, Joseph, you are right. This is how you should get it. Now we are going to see about built-in security in Alibaba Cloud. So this is the next topic we are going to see. Yesterday we saw about the account security. That's when you learn about the RAM user account, and in the LabX also today you used that RAM user account. You are provided with only one ECS instance from that lab, and then you used it. So now we are going to see about the built-in security on Alibaba Cloud. So by the completion of this course, you will be able to describe the built-in security capabilities of various Alibaba Cloud services, and then to describe about some encryption methods used. And then we learn about the certificate management service and the key management or KMS. So in KMS, like all the other cloud service providers, we have like bring your own key also. Just wasting 50 credit. Now you can use the other credits to try again. Like that's why we give like some extra credits so you can use it. So we see about the Alibaba Cloud security, which we have the built-in security on Alibaba Cloud, security and key management services. So these are the three topics we are going to discuss today. Firstly, we see about the Alibaba Cloud security overview and then the shared responsibility model. So can anybody say what is shared responsibility model? Yesterday I was explaining this. Anybody know what is shared responsibility model? Yeah, that's correct. Responsibility shared by the provider as well as the user. So if you see the cloud security market in China, according to the Forrester's Wave, we have the infrastructure as a service platform for native security according to the quartile 2 of 2023. Alibaba Cloud protects like 40% of the websites in China, and then it mitigates up to 5 billion attacks each day. And then it defends against 2000 DDoS attacks each and every day. And that is up to like 7.34 million vulnerabilities every year. So in the left hand side, you see the visualization given by the Forrester's Wave for infrastructure as a service platform native security. So you can see Alibaba Cloud is in the strong performers now when compared to many others. We are like competing with the big ones.
Mr. Ferdin,
Yes.
it seems like don't have any HS instance to copy the HS instance. We are trying to do the lab. Can
Okay.
you help us, please?
You are still doing the lab?
Yes.
Oh, I just finished that one anyway. If there is issue, I will mention it to the admin team, so they will look into that issue, and they will try to give you some solutions. Because this is something beyond my control. We are using some third-party provider for this simulation lab, so you can get it later. Should
Okay,
that
got
be
it.
okay?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Fredin.
Yes.
Can you show us from the beginning to start for the ECS creation? Because I think our account is there is no ECS created on our side. Can you?
Okay, I will show, but I'm not having the LabX account, but I'm just showing you with the usual account on how to create it.
Yeah, maybe better you delete first your ECS and then you start again with the create for the new one,
Yeah,
if it is possible. Thank you.
okay. Let me go into my sandbox. Oh, sorry, I have to turn on my VPN. Just give me a while. Okay. Okay, so now you have it like this. Then we will have to choose the product. go here, select ECS, and then you can create an instance by clicking on here. I will choose a different region. For example, I will choose Indonesia. And then we have the VPC. I will choose this one and choose one vSwitch which we have. Or you have to create your own VPC and vSwitches. And then this one is not needed now. And the instance types, I go for the very basic one. ECS, type this one G7. And then I go for the public image, choose Ubuntu. And then select the version, the latest one. And then I assign a public IPv4, or you have to assign a EIP later. And then you can create a new security group. So I just need to have only the ICMP protocol. And then I create a custom password. Okay. And it's not subscription. I want to go for pay as you go. Check everything. And then agree for the terms and condition, and then click on create order. And then click on console. You'll be able to see the instances in Indonesia. And then you go to the security groups. The one security group which we have created, you click on to this manage rules, the one in use, and then you click on manage rules. And then you have this inbound and outbound. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now I will move on to the next presentation, right? So we have the regulations and compliances of various global as well as the regional compliances satisfied. Like we have got all the ISO 27001, which is for the cloud service providers. And then for the regional, we have like many countries specifically, like for example, for Singapore, we have the MTCS T3 and ITSS. And then we have OSPAR in Singapore. So these are like for specific industry regulation for Singapore. So these are all satisfied by Alibaba Cloud. And then various countries come up with the Privacy Data Protection Acts. So Alibaba Cloud has been doing well with that privacy laws also. And now this is the Alibaba Cloud security architecture. So we have the user account security and the security monitoring operations. And you can see like the 5 A's of authentication, authorization, account, audit, and application. All these comes under the account security, which I discussed yesterday. And then we have the user security monitoring and operations, where we have the threat detection and response. And then we have the configuration check, log audit, security testing, and security consulting. And then we have various security parameters for user business security, user application security, and user data security and infrastructure security. These are all like the responsibility of the end user, but still Alibaba Cloud provides the services to manage that. But still, there are like some platform security. So in the platform security, we have identity and access control, physical security, hardware security, virtualization security, and cloud product security. So these things are not the responsibility of the end user. It is totally managed by Alibaba Cloud. So that's why we call it as the cloud platform security. So we have the end users managing the various security features for the customers, and then the ecosystem partners are using the cloud platform security. So we see about the network security and the data security, where we see like the account identity management, which we saw yesterday on how to manage the accounts and isolate the data between the accounts. And then we have like the centralized password management using complexity requirements and rotation frequency, and then permissions management. So now we see about the built-in security on Alibaba Cloud. Firstly, we see about the VPC and the security groups, and then the basic cloud platform architectures, and then the data encryption on the cloud. So we have already seen the demo using the LabX for the VPC and security groups. So we have to put all the ECS instances inside a VPC only. So if you have a security group created within that VPC, then it will govern the ECS instances. And you can specify the inbound and the outbound rules which I specified. You can manage it. And next we have the basic cloud platform architectures. We have the decoupled application and the data architecture. We have like multiple ECS instances like VPC1 and VPC2. So you can use one VPC for managing the ECS instances, another one for managing the databases. And then by using the security groups, you can specify what protocols or ports you want to allow in such and such security groups. So you can, somebody asked me like how to use one EIP with multiple ECS instances. This is how you can do it. Like you configure one public IP with a load balancer and then connect it with multiple ECS instances and the database instances also. You will be able to do it. So this is the perfect architecture for that. How to connect the two VPC in different region. So we can connect, you cannot connect VPC in the same region as well. There are two scenarios I can say. If these two VPCs are in the same region, you can use the VPN or VPC peering, then you can do the connectivity. But if it is in different region, then you need to use the Express Connect product where you will be using the Cloud Enterprise Network. For that, I have a blog. I will share it with you. Just a moment. If you go through that blog of mine, you will be able to understand much clear. But today I cannot explain much because it is out of the scope of what we are doing today. So I post it in the chat box. So you can go through this blog. And in case if you want to read more about my blogs, I will share it. I used to write a lot about AI and many other products. So you can subscribe by following me. Okay. So now you can even connect the object storage service also, like OSS also, to have the static data from the websites and connect it with the application clusters. And then we have the data encryption on the cloud. So this is how the data is encrypted on the cloud. We have the data and the encryption algorithm, and then the encryption key, and that gives the encrypted data. So that's what we call as the cryptography. Firstly, you have the data which you store, and then you will be using an encryption algorithm, and that algorithm will use an encryption key. When both these work together, it will create an encrypted data that will be stored in the server by the client. Like this. And next we have the encryption algorithms. Like there are some common encryption algorithms like symmetric encryption algorithms, asymmetric encryption algorithms, and the hash algorithms. So in the symmetric encryption algorithms, they refer to the encryption algorithms, which is like the same key for encryption and decryption. So we usually use one key for encryption and another key for the decryption. So that is what we call as a asymmetric algorithm. But symmetric means we are using the same key. And here the algorithms are open with like very small amount of computation, and the size of the coding will be so small, so it will be fast in doing the encryption, and it has a high encryption efficiency. So there is a disadvantage that it has like if the same key is used, the security cannot be guaranteed much. And there are some common encryption algorithms using the symmetric encryption. They are DES, Data Encryption Standards, AES, Advanced Encryption Standards, IDEA, and then RC4. So these are various algorithms available. So you can read it over like later. Next, we have the asymmetric encryption algorithm. So here for encryption, we will be using one key, and the decryption will be using a different key. Like for encryption, we will be using the public key, and for the decryption, we will be using the private key. So the algorithms are like quite complex, and it will eliminate the need for transmit keys. Like for example, for encryption, Bob will be using public key to do the encryption, and then to read the data, Alice will be using a private key. So that private key is used for decryption. And then we have the hash algorithm. So in the asymmetric encryption or symmetric encryption, we have the normal data to encrypted data, and then you can bring back the encrypted data to normal data. So that is available in these two. But in the hash algorithms, you can only encrypt, you cannot decrypt the data. Like mostly in blockchain and all, they use this hashing algorithms. So the hash algorithms map an arbitrary length binary value to a shorter fixed length value, which is called a hash value. Like for example, you have the text to be like with 2000 characters, but if you use the if you are using the thing like hashing, you can specify like you want to have like the output of like just 20 characters. It will compress in that way. SHA will not be used in 2025, but I'm just telling like these are all available algorithms for hashing. So the computation is fast, but it doesn't have any recoverable password. Like you cannot decrypt the data. I mean, the encrypted data cannot be decrypted to see what is the actual value hidden in there. Now we have the procedure on how to choose an encryption method. So this has the balance between the speed, efficiency, and security. The efficiency of the encryption algorithms can usually be measured in terms of algorithm complexity, key length, and the encryption decryption speed. And then there are some ways on how to choose the encryption algorithm. So based on the data volume and the speed, because in some systems the data will be incoming like in a faster rate, like some bit rate will be like phenomenally huge. So in that case, you need to choose the perfect algorithm which can cope up with that speed. And then small data volume and the low speed, then you need to use asymmetric. So the symmetric will be used for like high speed and a large data. So like algorithms like AES, DES, we use it for like uh, large volume. Like in case if you are ACA exam, they may ask like we have like some amount of fast flowing data or like large data encryption, what algorithm you'll use, then you have to mention like any of these symmetric encryption algorithm. Or if it is like very small one, then you can go for asymmetric encryption. And then we have the signature, which provides, which uses the asymmetric encryption algorithms. And then if you don't want to have like a recoverable password, like you may wonder, like you are creating many accounts with the username and password, right? So where the password gets stored and how the password gets stored. So like they have an encryption algorithm. When you feed in the password, it will convert it into a hash value. The next time when you feed in your password, it will convert it into that particular hash and then match it with the hash value which you have created already. Then it will be showing. Even a small change, like changing from lowercase to uppercase, also can impact the whole hashing. And then we have like encryption speed and security management keys. So for that, we have asymmetric encryption to manage the symmetric encryption keys and the symmetric encryption algorithms to encrypt the data. So how to choose the keys? The longer the key, the slower the running speed. We need to choose based on our actual needs of security level. It will be like if it is 1024 or more bits, then you have to go with RSA. Or if it is like the 160 or more, then you can go with the ECC or elliptic curve cryptography. And then if it is like more than 128 bits, then it is AES. And then we have the built-in encryption where we have the key management. So we have like two different types of key management. One is a built-in key, which is available. By default, we have a AES 256 algorithm encryption available. But in case if you want to have a different algorithm, you can bring your own key and load it into the key management service. So here you can manage the keys for Alibaba Cloud Services, and then that is used for signing and verifying the requests. And then we have the secrets manager, which helps to rotate the secrets for Alibaba Cloud Services. This will support the ROS and Terraform. Next, we see about the certificate and key management services. So here we see about a typical three-tier application architecture and then a built-in security in Alibaba Cloud Services, certificate management service, and the key management service. So this is an application for three-tier architecture. We use the classic load balancer to uh, broadcast the request to multiple ECS instances. And then that will be using the OSS and the RDS instances. So this three-tier architecture provides a certain level of security, which is, but we need to know whether it is sufficient or not. And there is no dedicated security products available for that particular purpose. So we need to use some combination of security services. When you are using a classic load balancer, it will come automatically with the anti-DDoS protection. So you don't need to configure separately. When the moment you configure the CLB, it will get connected with the anti-DDoS. And then there are some built-in security like the access control list in the OSS and the allow list in the RDS that can provide some access control. Like you can specify the access, like you want to give like the public access or the private access and so on. And then we have the built-in and dedicated security features for the data backup and restoration. We have the cloud disk snapshot, RDS backup for the databases, multiple copies and remote backup for the like the data migration or disaster recovery. Okay. And then for the data at rest encryption, we use the OSS server-side encryption, which is automatically available. That one AES algorithm is available. And then we have the RDS transparent data encryption, elastic block storage disk encryption, and the key management service. And then for the data in transit security, we use the SSL certification, OSS HTTPS connection, RDS HTTPS connection, and VPN. And then we have the certificate management service. So this is like a digital server certificate service that Alibaba Cloud provides directly on its platform of well-known certificate authorities. Like there are some organizations where we can purchase them. Like they provide like the digital certificates issued by some trusted certificate authorities. And there are like different levels of digital certificates issued. And then there are like one-click deployment also. Like you don't need to do some complicated procedures. So this deploy the digital certificates to other Alibaba Cloud products within single click, and it will enable the certificate deployment with a very minimal cost. And then we have the certificate revocation also, where we securely revoke the server digital certificates after the certificate authority review and according to like some standard revocation procedures. And this is the overall architecture of how the certificate authority is managed. So we have the certificate authority certificate with the client, and then the client will be sending the server will be sending the server certificate to the client, and then it will look for a period of time, like it should not get timeout, and then it will generate a key within the client side itself, and then it will send that key to the server, and the server will check for the key. If everything is fine, then it will do an encrypted communication. And after that, if you see the protocol of HTTP, we see the protocol of just HTTP is 80, and for HTTPS it is 443, right? So how does this HTTPS protocol is formed? Like it has a combination of both HTTP protocol and the SSL protocol, that is the secure socket layer. So this HTTP is like a common transfer protocol where the transfer data is not encrypted, whereas this SSL is like it uses a public key technology to provide some encryption. So in that encryption, when it combines with that HTTP protocol, it becomes the HTTPS. And now how we effectively do the security over HTTPS? We have the HTTPS protocol based on the SSL protocol, and then we use the SSL certificates. Like previously, we used the SSL protocol to make it a HTTPS protocol, and that protocol is subjected to SSL certificate, and this will result in like effective HTTPS secure transmission. So this is like a website encrypted transmission protocol based on like the SSL protocol. And then we have a server digital certificate that conforms to the SSL protocol. And then we have the effective HTTPS secure transmission. And then we have the security certificate management service where we upgrade from just the HTTP to HTTPS. So we need to add the SSL certificate from the certificate authority, then it becomes like a HTTPS protocol. And next we have a certificate management service using multiple built-in functions like CDN and then anti-DDoS. So the anti-DDoS also will be protecting automatically. The web application firewall also, once you create the ECS instance, it will automatically map to the IP address of that ECS instance and start protecting it. So those demonstrations I will be giving tomorrow. And next we have the OSS highlights. Like the OSS storage service is like a cloud storage service featuring nearly unlimited storage capacity, high capacity, and great reliability and security. So this is used for like storing like even up to petabyte levels of data, and you can have any number of files, like infinity number of files also. And a single file can go like from 5 gigabyte to 48 terabyte. That 48 terabyte, it will be achievable only through the multi-file synchronization upload. And then for the security, we have the access ID and the request for the signatures. And then the RAM authority control, secure token service authority control, bucket authority control, and the server side encryption. And then for the reliability, the service reliability reaches 99.999, and that is the 12 nines for the zone redundancy storage. So for those regions where we have three data centers, you can achieve zone redundancy storage. So in that case, in Indonesia, you can definitely achieve this level of reliability, and the availability is like 99.995%. Next, we see about the OSS security features. So it is used to securely upload or download your data using SSL encrypted endpoints and HTTPS. So we use the key management service, secure socket layer, RAM user account, and then the bucket policy. So these are all the security mechanisms we use with the OSS. And then we use the client-side encryption library to encrypt the data before uploading to the OSS. And then this OSS uses the key management service to automatically encrypt the data and write it into the OSS and retrieve it by decrypting. Now you see the built-in security features for the access control list. Once you create a bucket, you can specify like what kind of security features or access control list, like you can specify like a private or public read write. And then for the storage, you can specify whether it is a standard or infrequent access or archive. And then for authorization, we specify whether it is for the whole bucket or for some specific resources, or we provide it for some sub accounts or like a RAM account or something like that. And then we have something called as the BYOK. BYOK stands for bring your own key. So we have like our own encryption, server-side encryption in OSS, that is the AES 256. But if you need other ones, you can bring it into the key management service and load it there. And from the key management service, you can bring it into the OSS. So this will provide like a multi-level key envelope encryption, and it will support the BYOK material for encryption and decryption. And the keys are managed by KMS, and the random key is generated for each and every object, that is each and every file. And next we see about the built-in security features available with the RDS product. As we all know that RDS is used for databases. So it is having like a high reliability and elasticity. So RDS will adopt like a multiple security measures to keep your data safe and provides a set of tools to facilitate the database management task. And you can also create like a read-only instances for the MySQL RDS instances to enhance the performance. And then for the multiple database engines are supported, like we have the MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, PostgreSQL, and many others are also available. So here, what kind of security? Mostly for databases, we get this SQL injection alarm. So that SQL injection attack, so that is alarmed using this built-in security feature in RDS itself. And then we have the protection against the DDoS attack. So by default, we get like a free anti-DDoS protection. Whenever we are having DDoS protecting our resources, it will come with a free basic edition that it will protect up to 5 gigabyte per second level of traffic. If it goes more than that, then you need to go for a paid version. And then we have the IP access whitelist and the instance online upgrade. And then for the reliability, we have like 99.9999. And the service availability is like 99.9. And each instance IOPS can reach up to 14,000. So then the storage can be used up to 2 terabytes. So here we have the read-only instance for the RDS instance also. So what are the built-in security features here? We have the anti-DDoS protection, where the source IPs are configured, and then we have the IP whitelist configurations where we can support up to 1000 IP addresses. So only those IP addresses can approach those RDS instances. And then we can protect the databases from some type of attacks like the SQL injection, and then brute force attacks or some form of database attacks. So Apsara DB also provides SQL audits where you can access your instance and take the actions you need to do. Now we see the SSL with the RDS. So we have the ECS instance which is connected to through the SLB and then the RDS. So here we have the SSL encrypted configuration. So how this 3-tier architecture will look like. So we have the encryption at all these levels. Like when the user request enters into the classic load balancer, then there is an encryption. And then in the application layer of the ECS instances, there is another encryption. And then when it goes into the OSS or the RDS instance, then there is another encryption. So there are like different layers of security. So there is no dedicated security products needed to configure, or you need to specify to do this protection. It will automatically get populated. And then we have the built-in security for like in OSS, we have the access control list and some allow list, like the white list for the RDS. So when you have the databases, we will try to access it through the server, right? So in that case, we can specify the IP addresses of those ECS instances only to communicate with the RDS. So if you see the key management service features, so we have like the China mainland as well as for the outside China mainland features. And it is compared with the other big cloud service providers. So in this case, we are having like a very comprehensive level of security when compared to the big cloud service providers. So that's all about the built-in security in Alibaba Cloud. Is there any questions that I can answer? There is a huge question. In what conditions do we use loose, normal, or strict protection policy or WAF? So that you will like see web application firewall, it will give like the basic protection first. In case if you detect like you need to have more number of protection, then you need to go to the console of the web application firewall and configure it to have like more. Second, could you tell me about the patch management service in ServerGuard? Um, Patch management for the operating system, we don't provide the patches for the operating system. Does the WAF protect both incoming and outgoing traffic just like the normal firewall? Yes. Just like anti-DDoS, which has basic and pro version, WAF also has different versions like standard, business, and enterprise. And that's like the amount of request it can handle. That is the difference. I think for the presentation files, you can, I think it will be loaded into your EDU account. I think you would have given your account UID, so it should be loaded. In case, if not, I will check with the team again and let you know tomorrow. Any questions? Where the link you mean to subscribe? Okay, for my blogs, right? So I will share that link again. Yeah, this is the blog. Any questions? Okay, so if this load balancer is overloaded, will it share the load with other servers? Actually, it will share the resources request to multiple instances, but in case if the load is going beyond the limit, then you need to have auto scaling, which can temporarily add multiple instances, and then it can manage the traffic. Can Alibaba security detect vulnerabilities across multiple regions? Yes, it can. I have an old YouTube channel, but I don't use it now. But I used to provide a lot of lectures from Alibaba Cloud, but right now I don't recommend that because they are like outdated with usage of those products. It's pretty old, like 2 years old videos. So yeah. So I have a survey link for you to fill out. Please fill in the survey. Have you encountered any attacks and how to handle it in the context of Alibaba Cloud Security? You don't need to personally handle it. Like it will provide the alert, and then you go into the console and you will just, with few button clicks, you will be able to manage it. For the exam later, what should we learn to pass the exam? It's enough we read the material or learn from the landing page only. So you can read from that landing page as well as the blueprint which I shown, and then try to learn about some Linux commands also. So mostly you'll get some questions related to Linux commands also. Does Alibaba Cloud comply with Indonesian personal data protection law? Yes, definitely. Any other question? Okay, so if you don't have any question, I think I can show you some demo with the OSS security. So now I'm going to show about the security in OSS. I search for the product of OSS, Object Storage Service. And then click on to view buckets. And then I click on to one bucket. So I have this particular image. So I click on to this and I see like there is some encryption done. I can specify the validity period also. So you just observe this particular part of signature over here. This part will change when I change the seconds over here. So from 300, I change to 60. You see, it changes. So that is like inbuilt encryption. And we have setting the access control list also. We specify like inherited from the bucket or private or public read or public read write. So now I copy this URL and then I paste it in the chat box. You try that particular URL and you will be seeing whether you will be able to download the picture or not. You will be able to download this picture. And here we have the security of inbuilt encryption of AES 256. It will download the picture. Are you all able to access the file? Okay. So now we will wait for another 60 seconds and then we will see whether we are able to access that file or not. For example, I will just go here and paste the URL and it has crossed that timing of 60 seconds. So that's why it is showing the error. So we have given like access of like 60 seconds. Like for example, here we mentioned as validity period of 60 seconds. So after I give the link, if you access it within 60 seconds, you will be able to access the file. I give it again. So this is like you can give URLs only when you only to those you need. So now I'm able to download like this, and then after 60 seconds, if I refresh that page, I go to, now it is not finished with 60 seconds. So you all will be able to download the file. Are you all able to download that file? Yeah. So after 60 seconds, if you still use that URL, you will get an error page. So now it is still in 60 seconds. Yeah, now if you try, it will not download. It will show error. So these are the things you can uh, do with the OSS. The OSS you can do like the security for the objects. And then we have the permission control where you set the access control list. And then for the bucket policy. And then for the RAM policy also. It will automatically populate everything for you. And then the bucket settings also you have like some resource groups, and then for the logging. So I didn't open the logging. So if I click on login, it will save it into the log. We have the logging as well as the real-time log query.
Yes.
And click on to enable it now. So this is how you can do it. See, the log is automatically getting populated. Yeah, it is showing error because it has crossed the 60 seconds. Are you all able to understand the access control list in OSS and the security features? Any questions? Similarly, in RDS, we have to specify the whitelist to access those. Okay, now I have a small survey link for you to fill up. So I will share this survey for today. So those who have questions, please post it in the chat box. Others, please take the survey. So those who have done with the survey, if you have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, you can leave actually. Can we have ECS and RDS in one different zone, but in a region? Yes, you can do it. You can have it in multiple, like ECS in one vSwitch and RTS in another vSwitch. That is possible. Any other questions? CM, I don't know what you are meaning with that. Can Alibaba Cloud Security handle ransomware? Yes, it can do it. We have the anti-ransomware product also. What we should calculate to know the pricing of OSS services. The OSS, it goes with the storage size. Like if you are having like 1 GB of storage, then it will charge you like 0.02 US dollar per gigabyte. Capacity only on price calculator and know the price. Yeah, there are some Alibaba price calculators also. It's not with the traffic, it's with the size, the storage size. Okay, explain again about SLB and auto scaling. Okay, so we will have one ECS instance, then all the requests will go there, right? You don't need to have server load balancer. But in case if you have like multiple ECS instances or multiple copies of ECS instances, you are not sure which ECS instance should receive the request. So for regulating that traffic, we have the server load balancer. It will just send the requests which are coming to the server load balancer. It will be channeled to each and every ECS instance. But if the traffic goes increasing high and it keeps more, then it will go using the auto scaling. So it will spike the number of ECS instances which can manage the traffic, and then you can remove those instances if you don't need it. Customized protection rule. I don't understand what you mean exactly. Challenge collapser, you mean? Oh, okay, okay. That will be for tomorrow. Okay. So we will be seeing like the web application firewall and the cloud firewall tomorrow. So those who have are done with the questions, you can uh, use the link which I have shared for the survey. I will post it again. So if you are if you want to have the survey link, it is in the chat box. Please take it. Can SLB protect us from DDoS? Yes. When you configure as SLB, it will automatically get connected with the anti-DDoS protection. Basically, we get the basic edition of 5 GB per second protection. What function of Cloud Assistant? We don't have any product like Cloud Assistants. We have Cloud Monitor, which is used to manage the performance of each and every product instances. So if you don't have any other questions, I think we can finish the session for today, and we will meet again tomorrow. Anti-DDoS, right? So tomorrow, that will be with the web application firewall and all. Yeah, ECS can add the GPU. We do have like a lot of GPUs with Alibaba Cloud, even the NVIDIA P100, V100, and so on. Okay, thank you all for today. So we will meet again tomorrow. So tomorrow I will be giving some information on the exam point of view, and then about the other products like the web application firewall and so on.
Thank you, Dr.
Recording
Fardin.
stopped.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Fardin and good evening. Sorry.